Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 24 of our Tracksuit to the Top series here with Lewis FC in the Vanarama Conference. Hopefully you guys are good. If you missed last episode, go check it out. As always, it was a huge tie against top of the table Gateshead. Anyway, today I have for you guys another live com. Today we're actually going to be playing Forest Green, a team who we've encountered a few times so far on this save. We've actually been largely successful against them. We beat them 4-1 earlier this year, and we also beat them in the FA Trophy earlier this year in a second leg kind of match replay where we won 3-1. So we have a fairly good record going in against them. Since the last episode, which was, as I mentioned, against Gateshead, we've played 6 games. We've got 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. We kick things off with a 2-2 draw against Alfreton. Ryan Seeger grabbing 2 goals. This guy's been superb for us, obviously. He was our acquisition in October who was kind of brought in to try and replace Matthew Lewis in case that was even possible. I didn't think it was possible, but to be honest, he's done a job. He's done a job for us. 11 goals, 9 assists. 18 appearances. He's played well. He's been a solid player in our first team, and he's got the Man of the Match award in this game, despite the fact we only got a point. In the next game, we beat Kidderminster 3-0. Another really good result. Marcus Barnes grabbing a goal here. He has been our top goal scorer with Matthew Lewis out of the window and out of the van. As you can see, 17 goals for him and 13 assists. So a lot of players contributing on the goals front, which is really nice. Another former Southampton trainee there. Anyway, the next game was Grimsby, and this was another clean sheet. And actually, in our last 5 games, we've had 4 clean sheets, which has been a rarity this year. We've really struggled defensively, so that's a good sign. In this game, as you can see, Shabola and Seeger getting the goals for us. Shabola has been a fantastic player for us. You can see him here. 22 years old. He's not made any more appearances for the Democratic Republic of Congo, but he's played very well for us. As you can see, in his 20 games, he's scored 6 and got 3 assists and 4 player of the matches. Been a very valuable player in our first team, and in this game, he was just absolutely superb. We then got our only defeat since the last episode, and that was against Braintree. Really disappointing performance. Don't want to dwell on this one too much, but I guess the silver lining was the fact Craig Mullen, our goalkeeper, scored another penalty. I don't know why I've got him on penalties, but he scored a few for us. As you can see, 5 goals so far this season from the spot. He's loving it, and I'm loving it. So that was a silver lining, I guess, on what was otherwise a pretty disappointing performance. In the next game, Barnes scored 2. Isaac Hayden did get injured. He's out for today's game, which is a bit of a miss because he has been one of our big players so far this year. Obviously, former Arsenal player. He's played 24 games for us. He's not been outstanding, but he's certainly performed very well. In terms of better than any other player we've ever had playing that defensive midfielder role has on this save. So I'm still pretty happy with his performances all in all. So that was the Eastleigh game, and then the last game was against Woking, which was our 4th clean sheet, as I already mentioned during this run of results. Shabola getting the Man of the Match award again here. Looking at the performances overall, a really good team performance. It was 0-0 at half time. Had some stern words with the player after what was largely a disappointing first half, and they really turned things around. Elliot Lee grabbing a really important goal. You know, good to see him get a goal because he obviously came in on a free from West Ham, having been released. He's kind of our backup striker, so good to see him ticking over and getting on the score sheet. Jake Hesketh as well, another former Arsenal trainee. He's done superbly, 13 assists and 35, and he's also contributed 5 goals. So there are the results. Looking at the squad as a whole, just so you guys can get an idea of who's been doing what. You can see, looking at the goal scorers, as I mentioned, Barnes and Seeger really right up there. Petrasso's contributed largely as well, the under 21 Italian international. You can see he's been a very good player, obviously, released from QPR. And so far this year, 5 goals and 2 assists in 8 games. He's not actually played that many games for us, just because I've been rotating things a lot and I've got better players. But when he's been called upon, he's performed absolutely superbly. Craig Mullen in goal, another player worth talking about. I already mentioned about his goal-scoring antics from the penalty spot. He has certainly made the most of his 13 penalty taking and 11 composure. But he's a really, really good player for us. Been superb this year, and he's improved a lot as well. So that's a really good sign for the future that he's still performing well. Anyway, looking at top assists, Hesketh and Barnes lead the way there. Zach Answer has also played very well. Obviously, the Ghanaian, is it Ghana or is it Cameroon? I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to check. But yeah, the under-21 international, he's performed well for us. Obviously, he had a few injury problems. It is Ghana. You can see, looking at his report here, he has had a few injury problems. He played pretty well when we've relied on him. I know it says he's inconsistent there, but he's a good player for in our league. Good player on off the bench, and he has the potential to be a League One player. So he's been a useful signing. 9 assists in 25 games is certainly not bad either. And that kind of gives you an idea of what's been happening. Looking at the top performers, I guess, is just one final thing. A few other names that I didn't really draw attention to. Billy Roast, of course, on loan from Colchester, has played really well when we've brought him in at centre-back. Thought a player who might be ousted, particularly with some of the free transfers we brought in, but he's played very well at centre-back and it's made him very difficult to drop. Another player who's played regularly at centre-back has been Robert Dickey, obviously former Reading trainee, this guy. He's not played superbly, but in his 17 games he's been more than solid and just a very good player for us. So that's kind of a little bit of a roundup of the squad. I've not done one of these in a while, so I felt like doing one, just highlighting a few players like Dominic Hyam, perhaps players who play regularly in the first team who I haven't drawn too much attention to, over the course of this season since they kind of came in October. But there's some great players here. Muleba as well has played really well when we've called upon him. He's actually missed a fair few games because he's been playing in the Democratic Republic of Congo first team, which is a bit of a pain. But he's been a very good player for us. And one more player, just quickly, Henry Muggeridge, of course, the player who was here when I came to the club. He's not played too many games this year. He's played about half our fixtures and he's done pretty well. So anyway, that's a little bit about the club, what's going on. Last episode, of course, I covered the fact that we were getting new facilities and such. Today I have for you guys a live com against... where are we looking? Forest Green in 14th. So that's going to be a big game for us today. It's worth noting that Chester today are playing against Gateshead. So that's a kind of a clash at the top of the table. It's one of the reasons I decided to do this episode, is because realistically Chester could slip up here. Wickham in their game, another player worth keeping an eye on. They have got Dagenham and Redbridge today, which isn't an easy game for them. Also worth noting they have Gateshead on the last day of the season. So looking at the league table, it's very, very tight. This is our 5th from last game of the season, our 42nd of the year, and it's ridiculously close. You look at pretty much Wrexham in 5th all the way to Chester in 1st. There's 3 points separating these sides. Wickham and Gateshead do have games in hand, but they've got some pretty tricky fixtures coming up. If we look at our fixtures, we have Forest Green, who are in 14th. We have Stalybridge, who are 20th. Nuneaton, who are 15th. Wrexham, who are 5th. And then Ebbsfleet, who are 12th. So really, Wrexham's the only one in there that we might struggle. But I don't know, I kind of feel like this is a very winnable situation. I guess the next episode will be the Wrexham game because that's going to be fairly big regardless. But let's get into today's game. As I mentioned, the big one that's going to be interesting to see coming out of this game is how the clash at the top between Chester and Gateshead kind of transpires today. But anyway, let's move in. I've already sorted out my team selection, so that's not an issue. We could move up to top spot with a victory today. It's really getting to crunch time in the league. We're playing very well. We're probably the informed team, and given our run of fixtures, I do feel like we really should be pretty much winning all but maybe the Wrexham game and kind of pushing onwards. Obviously, the great defensive record of late, only conceding 1 goal in our last 5 league games, has been kind of very well timed because it's something that we have struggled with defensively. Perhaps that can be attributed largely down to the weaker opposition we've been playing, but I feel like we've been playing better at the back as well. But we've got a chance here. Barnes whipped the ball in. Cibola, I can't say his name still after all these episodes. He scores to make it 1-0 after 3 minutes. A great start to the game. Barnes with the very intelligent drag back there from out wide, and there was just so many players in the box for Barnes to pick out, and he just plays the intelligent pull back, and it's an easy finish from 6 yards out there. That's a fantastic start. How about that? How about that? So I'm not going to complain about that. As I mentioned, there's still games to be played. That Wrexham game that we have coming up could be a big one, but we've got to take this one game at a time. Looking at it, Forest Green kind of having the better of the play right now. We are missing Isaac Hayden at defensive midfielder, which is a big miss for us. As a result, Will Hoare has had to come into the kind of position, but we've got another chance here. Barnes. Seeger hits the post. That was a real opportunity. Unfortunately, the woodwork has denied us, but we have got a set piece to maybe make something of. Turnbull probably should have buried that in the near post, but he didn't. It's gone wide, but encouraging signs that we might be getting back into this game just a little bit, because Forest Green, despite conceding early on, was certainly having a lot more of the ball and looking a little bit more dominant. They're still having more of the ball, but not too concerned about that just yet. We're going to stick with our system as it is and hope the players can step up, but if we're going to defend like that we're not going to step up at all. Let's change our inside forwards to support. I feel like we might be being a little bit too attacking, and I need them to track back a little bit more. Our fullback's getting a little bit exposed, as you can see here. Poor defending really all round. Poor by the fullback not to show the winger out wide, and then poor by the centre-backs not to track the runners coming in. But we've made a few minor little changes which I'm hoping are going to help us a little bit more defensively. Looking at it, it's still a fairly 50-50 game. There's not too much to separate the sides, which is kind of also, I guess, reflected on the scoreline. But we cannot give away the ball there. And now Forest Green have a chance to attack. Falasis hits the post. The rebound is cleared away. That is fantastic defending by whoever put in that tackle there to deny him the rebound. Petrasso is really struggling for fitness. I may even take him off at half time. He was a bit of a fitness gamble going into this game and he's struggling at the moment. So I'm actually going to tell the players that I'm far from pleased. I want to get them fired up. We've not been great this game. Forest Green probably deserved to be ahead. And, you know, I'm not going to make any jokes about it. I'm just going to tell the players how it is. We've simply not been good enough right now. You know, Forest Green, yes, they are in kind of the mid-table region. But realistically, we're trying to win the league here. We need to be beating them. So we're going to get in some fresh legs in Mitchell, who is an incredibly fast player. Hopefully he can really provide a torrid time for the Forest Green fullbacks. Looking at it since the break, we have been probably the better side, but we're not really making it show. I'm actually going to switch our inside forwards back to attack, I think, just to give us a little bit more going forward, because when we do switch those to support, which I have done in a few games, sometimes our lone striker gets a little bit alienated from play. So we'll make some changes there. Seeger looks in pain. That's not a good sign. He's looking exhausted too. Maybe we'll make a change. We've got a chance here though. Barnes. Oh, he should have buried that. Mitchell though. Seeger. Oh, he's missed a sitter. We've just missed a real chance there. That was easy and we've fluffed our lines. Let's make a few changes here. Let's make a few changes. Because right now, it's not great. It's not great. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take off Hesketh, who's not had the best game of his career. And we're going to bring on Ben Bacon for a bit of kind of fresh legs in the midfield area. And hopefully he can provide us with some energy going forward. But that was a chance. Seeger missing a sitter. Elliot Lee is going to come on in his place. He's got 2 goals in 4 games so far, Elliot Lee. I've not played him too much, and a lot of times he has come on off the bench. So maybe this is his time to shine, as Tisabola fails to get the ball past the first man. However, we have still got men committed forward. Ben Bacon, Dolany, Barnes is out wide. Bacon, Barnes, Bacon. Oh, that was another chance. That was another chance. A vital block there by Forest Green. We are really piling on the pressure right now. And there's another chance here. Muleba. Lee. Please, how have we not scored? There was like 3 clear-cut chances in that one highlight and we've not taken a single one. Sometimes it's just not your day, and today it seems to be one of those days. Now Forest Green on the attack. If we concede now, I'm going to feel bitterly disappointed. We deal with it. Now can we break? Lee. Bonds on the overlap. We've got some pace going forward now. Mitchell. Use your legs, son. Why shoot there? Why? Greedy. Disappointing. Although we have won the ball back. Hyam. Mitchell gets there first. Come on, boys. Late on. We have a real chance. Bacon. Lee misses another chance. 6 clear-cut chances missed so far this game. But the highlight doesn't seem to be over, which is a little bit crazy. Oh my gosh, we are knocking on the door. We are throwing the kitchen sink at them. But so far, they are not letting us in their front door. We're trying to get in and they're holding firm. And now my real concern is we could end up conceding here. Although that's a great tackle by Horn. Mullen clears it. Can we break now? On the overlap, Mitchell's there. Barnes is out. That's a ball and a half. Barnes misses another clear-cut chance. 7. We have a set piece and the keeper saves it. What has happened here? It's all gone to pot. Tisabola is absolutely dead in centre mid as well with that knock. But can we score? There's still time. I've never seen such a dominant performance in a spell, and we've missed another clear-cut chance. That's 8. I'm losing the will. If we lose the league, having not won this game, and we have to go through the playoffs and we lose, I'm looking back at this game as the point at which it all went horribly wrong. Because I've never seen a team get battered so hard for a second half and a goal not come. There's still time for another highlight. There's still one more highlight. Please don't concede. Barnes, someone put me out of my misery. Not you though. Not you though, Forest Green. Not you. Good save. Clear it. Okay, I'll take a point now. We'll take the point now. Oh, go on, Lee. Oh, never mind. Well, one of the more entertaining 1-1s, I guess you could say. 8 clear-cut chances. Nothing taken. Out bloody rageous by our strikers. That was not good enough. My only glimmer of hope is that in the other game, teams slipped up, and they did. They did. It looks like Wickham beat Chester. Oh, no, sorry. Chester beat Gateshead, but that throws Gateshead off. We're still only 3 points behind Chester with superior goal difference. How did Wickham get on? Wickham did win 1-0. So results certainly could have gone better in our favour, but at the same time, we're not in a terrible situation. I guess I'll be back with you guys for the Wrexham game. That's now going to hold real significant importance. I just can't believe we've not won that. 8 clear-cut chances. Outrageous. Out-blooming-rageous. Right, well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. A bit of a, what's the word? A disappointing one. I feel like it's been disappointing but exciting at the same time. At least for you guys watching, I'm a bit annoyed that we couldn't just get the win. But can't dwell on it too much because we've just got to keep playing our game. As I mentioned, there's still plenty of football left to be played. Hopefully I'll see you guys next episode for the Wrexham game, and then I think I'm going to do the Ebbsfleet game as well next episode, so that'll be like a live end of season double header. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, smash the like button, and other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.